everybody, it's James here from DuDguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Slow Burn by Kacey Musgraves. And in this lesson we're going to start off by showing you how to get through the tune, just some chords and strumming. Then we're going to add some cool stuff that makes it sound a lot more like the original recording. You know, like instead of playing an A chord like this, we can do a little hammer-on thing. But, you know, we're going to start off really simple and then we'll add that stuff later. If along the way you find that you need any extra help with this stuff, you know, with like your basic chords like A and E minor, I have a few resources that'll help you. There's my free ebook covering rhythm guitar, and that covers all the basics of rhythm guitar. Then there's my premium beginners course, which walks you through all that stuff and a bunch more in a really gradual step-by-step way. So if you find that you're struggling with this or songs like this, it's worth checking those out. Anyways, we're going to start off with the chord shapes for the verse. Our first chord is A sus2. So it's like an A chord, but even easier because it's only 2 fingers. And later we'll transform it into the A chord with a little hammer on. But for now we'll play A sus2. Then we go to E minor 7. So I took my A sus2 chord and I just moved these 2 fingers this way to get E minor. And then I add my ring finger here to the 3rd fret of the B string to make it E minor 7. Then I can leave down my index and my ring finger. So I just have to take off my middle finger and I can switch to a G chord. And then from there, I leave my ring finger down and I switch to D sus2. So that's like a D chord, except 1 less finger. It's even easier. And then we would go back to our A sus2 chord and repeat the whole progression. But instead of playing E minor 7, we're going to play C major 7, which is super duper simple. From this A chord, A sus2, we leave our first finger down. We just put our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. That's C major 7. Before we move any further, let's play through these chords in order, just so you can see what it's like making all the switches and playing it all in order. Starting off on A sus2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, back to A, 2, 3, 4, C major 7, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D sus2, 3, 4. And we would play through that whole thing 3 times. Then we're just going to play the first half of it 4 times for the chorus. So now that we've taken a look at the chord order and you know what you have to work on for that, let's take a look at the strumming pattern. For this one, on the most basic level, we can play the strumming pattern like this. I'll do it on an E minor chord just for simplicity's sake. I'll do that super slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you're having trouble, we can break that up. The first bit goes down, up, down. You know, that's just 1 and 2 and. Try that. 1 and 2 and. And then the second half is just down, down, up. Really, really simple. Just 3, 4 and. Down, down, up. And when you put both those halves together, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, 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 up. Just try it a few times. Down, up, down, 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 up. Now that's how you play it on a really basic level, but if you want to take it a step further, we can turn this into that. And to do that, you just have to make a couple modifications. So the first half, instead of just going down, up, down, we can go root, up, root. And root just means to do a little stroke that aims for the lower strings. So root, up, root. So that's the first half, root, up, root. And then the second half, for down, down, up, we do a really big down, down, and then a little down, up. So we're not changing the strokes, we're just changing the volume or how much we're putting into it. You know, down, down, up. I'll do it really slowly. Root, up, root, down, down, up. Root, up, root, down, down, up. Now we're going to take that strumming pattern and put it together with the verse and chorus. So it's going to be a pretty long one. We're going to play through it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, so that's the majority of the song. Now all we have to do is figure out one more part, the bridge, which is super quick. We can go over it right now. It's just 2 measures of C major 7 and 2 measures of E minor. And that's the whole bridge. And then we have a couple cool things that we can add to the whole tune in general that'll make it sound a little bit better. So starting off at the very beginning on our A sus2 chord, instead of playing it like this, we can do this. All I'm doing there is I hammer on, so down, hammer. I'm just hammering from an A sus2 into an A chord by hammering my ring finger to the 2nd fret of the B string. Just doing that a bunch of times might be necessary. I would just practice going down, hammer, down, up. Down, hammer, down, up. With the strumming pattern, root, up, down, down, hammer, down, up. And the other change I would make is occasionally, I wouldn't do it all the time, but sometimes instead of playing D sus2, I would play a D11 chord, or whatever you want to call it. It's a D chord with the 4, so it's like combining a sus4 and a regular D chord, and a 9. So it's like a D11, no 7. That would be like the most official name for it. But, you know, complicated name aside, all you need to think about is it's like a C chord, 2 frets higher. That's all it is. Just get your thumb over the top so you don't get that low string. And putting in both of these modifications, you know, the little hammer on plus this chord, here's what you get, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and. And I wouldn't use it all the time because it's really tense, but maybe during the chorus or during the parts of the song where you're really feeling it using that D chord. Otherwise, that's really all there is to it. You know, this is a really straightforward, simple song. It's mostly the same thing over and over again. So at this point, I recommend playing along with the original recording, taking each of these sections, the verse, the chorus, the bridge, and trying to get through the original recording. You might have to start out ignoring the strumming pattern, you know, just counting it out 1, 2, 3, 4, what did do, just doing downstrokes only, you know, so that you can train your chord hand to keep up with the pace of the song. And then at that point, you can try adding the strumming pattern. And you can even slow down videos on YouTube with that little gear icon in the corner, you know, just slow it down to half speed, and it shouldn't be too hard to, you know, keep up with it at that point. If you need any extra help, don't forget to check out my resources. There's links to all those down below. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing this one, and I'll see you soon.